What's up, everybody? It's your boy EJ Spark, and today I'm going to tell the story about how I got on national radio as an unknown artist. Let's take it back to 2018 when I released my song Bigger Picture, produced by Tone Jones, early in the year. It was about February or March when I released it. And a couple months later, my good friend from college came up to me and he said, "Have you ever heard of the morning show, Rover's Morning Glory?" I said, "Yeah, I've heard of it. I haven't really listened to it that much, but I know it's a national show based in Cleveland." And he said he listens to it every day. And for the past 10 years, they have held Rover Fest, which is just a big festival where artists from all over the nation come, they perform, and apparently it's pretty big. I've never been. But this particular summer, it was their 10th anniversary, and Machine Gun Kelly was headlining with Lil Jon, Big Boy from Outkast, Shinedown, Red Sun Rising, and a few more. So it's a pretty big festival. And comedian Bert Kreischer was hosting it as well. But before the festival happened, Rover's Morning Glory did a competition. And this competition, I'm not sure if it was just for local acts or anyone throughout the country, but they allowed bands or individual artists to submit songs, and they would go through the songs and pick the top 32 best songs. And so my friend told me all this, and I said, all right, I'll submit Bigger Picture because that's definitely my best song so far, and we'll just see what happens. So I submitted my song Bigger Picture for this competition, and about 2 months later, I was at work and I started getting a bunch of phone calls and texts. And it was a bunch of my friends that listened to Rover's Morning Glory, and they say, "Yo, Evan, they just played Bigger Picture and pushed you to the next round." And I'm like, I don't even know what that means. What is going on? And my friend said, "Download this app. You can listen to a rewind of the radio show." I said, okay. So I was listening to it, and I figured out that there were over, I think they said 200 people that submitted songs for this competition, and then they narrowed it down to the top 32, like I said before. But then the way they did the competition is that they did it bracket style, kind of like a battle of the bands or March Madness, if you will, or just basketball or sports tournaments in general. So they put me up against another band or individual artist, and all of the hosts and co-hosts in the studio decided which band's song was better. And for this first round, they chose me, and I made it to the top 16 artists. And I was like, this is incredible. I know the prize is to open up for the headliners, Machine Gun Kelly, Lil Jon, and everybody else performing. And if you opened up, you won $500. And it's in my hometown of Cleveland, Ohio. That would be so cool. So I was at work, and a few days later, they did the top 16 artists. And my dad came to pick me up, and he's like, "We got to listen to this. We got to see if you make it to the next round." And so we were listening to the top 16. They put me up against a really great rock band, and they still liked my song Bigger Picture more. So now this is 2 days out of the week, my song Bigger Picture had played on Rover's Morning Glory, a national radio station, and it was just blowing my mind. I was getting so many plays, so many people were rooting for me. I was getting all these messages, and it just felt really good. And so now I'm in the top 8, and I'm with my dad, and we're listening, and they put me up against another rapper from Cleveland. And so I said, I don't know, this guy's a lot more popular than I am. I don't know if I could beat him out, but we'll see. And my heart is just beaten out of my chest. So after the hosts played the songs back and forth for a few minutes, they even took some callers to see what song the callers liked more. A good amount said Bigger Picture by me, and a good amount said the other rapper. And in the end, Rover picked my song Bigger Picture yet again. And he just thought it sounded really fun, and it was amazing. So now I'm in the top 4. Mind you, this is a rock station, so most of these bands are hard rock. So now I'm in the top 4 in this competition, and I am absolutely freaking out, because if I could open up for MGK at Roverfest, that would have been amazing. But the other 3 bands were already pretty well known, and so I was kind of in a David and Goliath situation. And so they actually do, so it's 2 bands on this side of the bracket, 2 bands on this side of the bracket, so semifinals. And so they did the other 2 bands first, and they knocked 1 band out. So now it's the top 3. And so they put my song up against this great rock band, and after about 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes of debating, they ended up choosing the other rock band. I definitely was super happy that I made it that far, and that all these callers loved my song, and that like big time radio hosts love my song. But I definitely shed tears of joy because I was so happy that I made it so far, and maybe a little bit tears of sadness because I didn't get to open up for MGK, Lil Jon, Shinedown, like all these great artists and bands. But nonetheless, I was on national radio and I'm a completely unknown artist, and it was just one of the best feelings ever. And it really gave me motivation and inspiration to keep doing what I love and keep making music, because if I can make one song that people enjoy, I know I have more in me. So once again, it was just really cool to be on national radio and to see my song go so far, something I worked so hard at, and it was finally noticed, and it was just a great feeling. So that is my story about how I got on national radio as a completely unknown artist. And that's it for Storytime today. As always, listen to my podcast, The Pit. It's in the description below. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at EJSpark1, and listen to my music, including Bigger Picture, on all streaming platforms. And as always, it's peace, love, I love s'mores, EJ out.